Hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Welcome to the Honky Tonk Happy Hour, Honky Tonk Half Hour. Maybe, I don't know. It'll probably run a little bit longer than that. I don't know if you're all so busy with your holiday meals that you're not going to take part today. There's Trish. But I don't know. Since we're all kind of sitting around without our families and stuff, I thought that I would do this. Have you all eaten dinner yet? Joe and I planned on. Hey Neil, hey Martin, hey Tony. Joe and I planned on eating our meal this afternoon, and then we had kind of a little sort of late breakfast, early lunch at 11, and we're not hungry yet. So I'm not even. Tony's eating pie already. All right. Uh, I'm not even, going to be digging into that meal for a couple hours now, but that's okay. Got up this morning and made a pumpkin pie and tofurkey in the oven. Okay. Yeah, I got up this morning. I made a pumpkin pie, and I had this notion floating around in my brain about writing some Thanksgiving songs. So I wrote 3 Thanksgiving songs this morning. Hey, Barry. This first one might be somewhat controversial. I'm going to warn you. It tackles a difficult and controversial viewpoint I have about the holidays. And we'll see if I can remember how to play it, since it's brand spanking new. It's that time of year again, time for that ridiculous meal. I can't be the only American who ain't exactly thrilled. Anyone who's known me for any length of time has surely heard me say that turkey is my least favorite bird. I'd rather eat a pigeon. Who knows, I'd probably prefer crow. Why don't you just roast some chicken? I guess I'll never know. All that whiskey brining and deep frying is like polishing a turd. Yeah, turkey is my least favorite bird. Damn fowl makes you sleepy. You have leftovers for days. You can blanket it with gravy or try choking it down with mayonnaise. Quail, pheasant, goose, or duck, hell, I'll run to the taco truck, 'cause turkey is my least favorite bird. I said it. Turkey is my least favorite bird. Gobble, gobble, turkey is my least favorite bird. Bird, bird, bird. Prog rock ending. So, for those of you who aren't around me during the holidays, this is something people are really sick of hearing me say. I just, literally, I would rather eat any other bird than a turkey. I don't actually hate turkey, but it just tastes worse than every other type of fowl I've ever eaten. So why would I choose that? Anyway, I do love dressing or stuffing. Where Joe comes from, it's dressing. Where I come from, it's stuffing. Joe made some wonderful cornbread stuffing that we're going to enjoy with our chicken tonight. All right, more Thanksgiving-themed numbers. I had this horrible thought as I was kind of running through these and rehearsing them to play for you today that it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm becoming Adam Sandler, you know? All right. This is called It's Thanksgiving, and I'm thankful that you're gone. Yeah, let's try that again. Well, it's Thanksgiving Day, and I sure feel like a winner with my bottle of cheap vodka and my frozen turkey dinner. Promises were broken, but the shit show must go on. It's Thanksgiving, and I'm happy that you're gone. You're a cheat and a liar, a phony, a disgrace. You're as cheap and obvious as the makeup on your face. You're in love with your own voice. She keeps droning on and on. It's Thanksgiving, and I'm thankful that you're gone. I'm looking forward to watching a different TV show. Don't let the door hit you as you go. I'll drink as much as needed, hang out with the dog. It's Thanksgiving, and I'm thankful that you're gone. Yeah, I'll drink as much as needed and hang out with the dog. It's Thanksgiving, and I'm thankful that you're gone. It's Thanksgiving, and I'm thankful that you're gone. Hey, Jeff Denny, welcome aboard. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. All right. Don't worry, I've only got one more Thanksgiving-related number for you. On my way to writing my promised 700 Thanksgiving songs. So I will, starting next year, I will release a double album of Thanksgiving-related songs every year. You heard it here first, folks. All right. So, you know, it occurred to me that there might be some positives to the fact that we aren't having family gatherings this year, or shouldn't be having family gatherings this year. And this one's along that line of thought and relates to the relative that you don't miss. And it's called Uncle Earl's Not Coming Around This Year, with my apologies to Earls everywhere. Well, Uncle Earl's not coming around this year. Uncle Earl's not coming around this year. If 2020 has a silver lining, my dear, Uncle Earl's not coming around this year. To say that he's annoying, well, that's putting it kind of mild. The gals stay in the kitchen and the kids just run and hide. Then Earl starts on the sauce and yaps about his career. But Uncle Earl's not coming around this year. Uncle Earl's not coming around this year. Uncle Earl's not coming around this year. If 2020 has a silver lining, my dear, it's that Uncle Earl's not coming around this year. Well, you can't choose your family, nothing we can do. Takes a national disaster to save us from this fool. Don't know which I hate the most, his politics or choice of beer. But Uncle Earl's not coming around this year. Uncle Earl's not coming around this year. Uncle Earl's not coming around this year. If 2020 has a silver lining, my dear, it's that Uncle Earl's not coming around this year. Play it, Earl. Every family has an Earl who on the holidays holds court. And if you think we really love him, I can assure you that we don't. When he's finally driving home drunk, we all let out a cheer, 'cause we won't see Uncle Earl till next year. Uncle Earl's not coming around this year. Uncle Earl's not coming around this year. If 2020 has a silver lining, my dear, it's that Uncle Earl's not coming around this year. Uncle Earl's not coming around this year. All right. Comic relief from Ramblin' Deano. All right, I'm going to do a song that I wrote and recorded with an early incarnation of Ice Cold Singles. I added a verse not too long ago. And the song's called Bottle of Wine. I don't think it's released anywhere. I don't think even with my sort of... It was on that internet music archive for a long time, but that seems to have transformed into something else or disappeared. Anyway, but since I'm doing a song called Bottle of Wine, you're probably wondering, what is Dean drinking right now? I know that's foremost on your mind. Well, most of my wine choices sell between $10 and $20 per bottle. That's sort of the budget that I keep myself in. I don't find a whole lot right at 10 that I want to drink, but kind of starting at $12 and up to 20, I find loads of things that I think are terrific. But being a wine geek and someone who was in the wine business for years and years and years, maybe 6 times a year I splurge on fancy bottles of wine, and this is one of those times. And so I don't know if I can get this legible here. Yeah, so this is a bottle of actual champagne from a small producer named Pierre Peters. And I won't give you a whole big old wine lesson here, but there are a very small number of producers of champagne that are actually what you would imagine as kind of like a fine wine estate. Like family owns some vineyards, grows grapes, and makes wine. Most of the big names that you know of, like Moet and Chandon or Veuve Clicquot, things like that, are giant companies that buy fruit from all over the region and make just tanker loads full of champagne. Maybe about 25 years ago, some of the smaller boutique importers started bringing in these small producers, and if you're fortunate enough to live, near a big city, you can probably access some of these, but they're worth checking out because not only are they more interesting wines than those high production wines like Moet or Veuve, but they tend to be better deals too. So true champagne's never going to be cheap. This was on sale for $50, so I had to snag it. But oftentimes Veuve Clicquot sells for $50, and this guy's making in the sort of tens of thousands of bottles of this wine, and Veuve Clicquot literally makes 3 million bottles a year. So it's a really different world. It's kind of Budweiser versus craft beer, So that's it. So salute. All right, and now for the song of promised bottle of wine. Bottle of wine, you broke my heart and you broke my mind. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Pull up a glass, sit for a while. Next thing you know, I got a warm glow. I love you, bottle of wine. Bottle of wine, pumps through my heart, into my mind. I'll give you 3 good reasons why I can't stay. 3 good reasons, red, white, and rosé. I'm not responsible for the things I might say. I love you, bottle of wine. Bottle of wine, I lost count of the glasses. Is that really the time? The next thing you know, it was the next day. I heard the cork pop on the champagne. I swore I was leaving, something got in my way. I love you, bottle of wine. Bottle of wine, 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 bottle of wine. It's not everyone that can execute the live fade out, so I hope you appreciate the skill and professionalism always on display at Ramblin' Deano's Honky Tonk Happy Hour. Again, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. So, I love pumpkin pie, and I made myself a pumpkin pie today. And I had I'd done a really good job with the crust, and just the outer rim of it looked like really solid, really like something you'd see in a store or something, really professionally done. And then the method I use for pumpkin pie, I generally pre-bake the crust a little bit so that when you pour that custard in there, it doesn't just soak into the bottom layer, so the bottom crust stays a little bit crispy, which I like, flaky. And so how you're supposed to accomplish that is with pie weights. So there are these little stones that you put in there on top of some foil. Otherwise the pie crust will kind of bake up in there, which you don't want. And I don't have any pie stones, so I came up with this idea of well, I have another identical pie plate that I can put on top, and then I'll just put a small cast iron skillet to hold that down, and I'll bake it that way with foil in between, of course. Then I got to the step where you remove all that stuff and you put the filling in, and realized that I had totally mashed my beautiful looking presentation around the edge of it. But I guess no one's going to see it, and it'll taste the same. But I have learned my lesson. Part of it, there does seem to be a thing with people who make pies about having them look fantastic too. So I'm not the greatest at making them look fantastic. I do love the pie crust recipe that I use, which is really, it's about as simple as can be. It's equal parts butter and flour, and I don't need to add any salt because I buy salted butter, and basically a little bit of ice water thrown in there. It takes all of 10 minutes to make and roll out and have in the pan. It doesn't need to sit. It doesn't need to wait or anything. You just put it right in there, and it turns out flaky and beautiful and fantastic. So, getting hungry. I'm getting ready to whip up that whipped cream. All right. So I got a few more songs for you here. Which ones should I do? Since I didn't play a George Jones song for our last show that Joe and I did, I was thinking a funny thing to do would be to do this George Jones song called Root Beer, which is basically White Lightning with different lyrics to it. And then I looked at the lyrics tonight, and there were 5 verses, and it was just there's no way I'm going to be able to do this song last minute. I thought this should be so easy. I've played White Lightning 100 times. I can do this Root Beer song and make everybody laugh. So no George Jones again. 2 shows in a row with no George Jones. But all right, I'm going to do a few other songs that I've written that are intended to have some humor involved, and let's start with this one. My evil twin has been seen at the tavern making poor decisions, setting bridges on fire. My evil twin says out loud what I only think, never turns down another drink, making memories to forget. He's a good for nothing ne'er-do-well. It's him or me, no one can tell. Each morning I wake up full of fear as I wonder who's had the latest run-in with my evil twin. When he's home and sober, God bless his heart. No one can tell us two apart. Each morning I what he got into last night. Picked the wrong bed, the wrong fight. My evil twin. When will I finally be done in by my evil twin? Evil twin. Remember when we all used to go out to bars and get into trouble? All right. Here's a song that I have written during these pandemic lockdown times. Hello to Joe Camarillo, by the way. Miss playing with you, my friend. We'll get back to it sooner or later. Now that Trump's got Operation Warp Speed in effect, we're going to be right back at it before you know it. Good thing Joe Biden wasn't in charge during all of this. All right. Here's a song with a pandemic theme to it. It's called Stay at Home Order. Well, any friend can tell you that I can't hold my drink. 1 minute I'm all smiles, the next I'm thrown up in the sink. But my sweetheart's the brains of the outfit, and she wants what's best for me. So there's a stay-at-home order, effective immediately. A stay-at-home order to protect me from myself. There's only so much damage I can do on our own couch. I was on my way out the door when she made her decree. There's a stay-at-home order, effective immediately. Yeah. Anyone who knows me knows I take it all too far. When it gets to closing time, you'll find me face down at the bar. But my baby knows just what to do to save the world from me. There's a stay-at-home order, effective immediately. A stay-at-home order to protect me from myself. There's only so much damage I can do on our own couch. I was already in the truck before I noticed she hid the keys. There's a stay-at-home order, effective immediately. There's a stay-at-home order, effective immediately. Yeah. All these songs I've written during the pandemic that I don't know whether they'll mean much of anything once this is all over, but that's okay. A little time capsule, right? All right. I got one more for you before I go and throw my bird in the oven. It's just a chicken. Ain't gonna take 6 hours to cook. It's going to taste better than that damn turkey. Sorry, turkey lovers everywhere. I'm I'm a turkeyist, I guess, like speciesist. I don't know. I'm gonna come up with like awful caricatures of turkeys and imply that turkeys are lazy and not as intelligent as other birds. It's true. Proud birds. I'm a member of the Proud Birds. All right. This song is not about birds or Thanksgiving at all. But it's another novelty-ish number. We met in one of them small-town bars, so quaint it don't seem real. We bonded over whiskey, but tequila sealed the deal. Though I lean lefty, and I don't just mean Brazil, I'm in love with a red-state girl. I'm in love with a red-state girl. Blue must be the color of the blues, as George would say. And I'm living in a blue state if I don't see red every day. She's my little wingnut, and I'm her big snowflake. I'm in love with a red-state girl. I'm in love with a red-state girl. We don't watch the cable news, don't even get me started. We don't read the comment threads, we just end up broken-hearted. In spite of our differences, we get along, it's not that hard. We both love our country with fiddle and steel guitar. And all the hate just disappears like bubbles in my beer. I'm in love with a red-state girl. I'm in love with a red-state girl. I really mean it. I'm in love with a red-state girl. I didn't say redneck. I'm in love with a red-state girl. All right, that is it for today's show, folks. I got to get that bird in the oven. I don't want to be eating at 10 o'clock here. Thank you so much for joining in. I'll be right back here on Sunday to do the Sunday brunch stream. No idea whether Jo will join me, but she's been a frequent collaborator on those shows of late. So hopefully we'll keep our fingers crossed that she's in the mood to do that. And I hope you all are having a great holiday, and I hope you're all, healthy and wealthy and wise. I'm maybe a couple of those things. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm any of those things. Anyway, as always, stay safe, stay sane, stay home if you can, and I love you all, and we will see you right back here on Sunday. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.